I'm all chilling.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Rob. So we just talked briefly about one of the things we think is happening with most fighters in their programs. And we said that uh, we know the importance of limit strength and getting them stronger and different uh, reasons why they need to get stronger, but it seems that conditioning and skill work is just kind of overtaking their program. What do you think? As far we just came from seminar from Louis Simmons, Westside Barbell, and I mean they just kept saying, get them stronger. Everything else increases. Get them stronger. That's all he kept talking about. What do you think about that?
Well, it doesn't lie. Max strength. John Saylor, proven judo world champion, coach, trained at Olympic Training Center. What better man to listen to, especially for as long as he's been in the game?
Mm-hmm.
He says a tall pyramid, a solid pyramid starts with a big base. When you look at strength qualities, max strength, explosive strength and speed is born from max strength. Muscle endurance, even, and
You get them
right.
stronger. I mean, it's a lower percentage of their maximum strength, so it's easier for them to do more volume.
There's no doubt about it, and you know, um, less likeliness to get injured too. But people in the industry talk about pendulum swinging a different way now, and definitely it's I think a lot of fighters, and I say this through experience, seeing it too, is a lot of fighters I believe come to a fight burned out,
Sure.
overtrained with conditioning. The
Sure.
motto is somebody out there's training harder than you. Well,
Right.
very likely, but doesn't mean they're training smarter, does
Right.
it?
And as the fight approaches, I mean, they're getting multiple sessions a day, not only of like skill work, but also trying to fit in some circuit stuff. I mean, prowler stuff. I mean, they're always trying to do more near the end, when they should really be kind of tapering off and doing their weight stuff where they're making weight and that final week of recovering.
No doubt about it. And like our friend Alan Costco has said, and over the years, that you got two fighters of equal skill, equal experience. What fighter is going to win? It's the stronger one.
Right.
His max strength will overtake that. So why leave that all important quality undertrained?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't understand it. That's why they don't train it. And I'm telling you, through boxing, this isn't to be too brash, but in the boxing community, there's a lot of it's fucking ignorance. A lot of coaches do not know how to train. I'm not talking strength conditioning coaches. I'm talking skill coaches. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They think lifting 10 reps is strength training.
Right.
Maybe to a young kid that's never lifted before.
Mm-hmm.
Improve intermuscular coordination. Whatever. But to get somebody strong,
Mm-hmm.
they don't understand. How to train for max strength, and leave a lot of these fighters not even realizing their potential.
Right. Well, you're sort of unique in the industry because you're not only a skill coach, you're also a strength coach, and sometimes the skill coaches try to blur the lines to the point of they're trying to institute or implement strength programs that they think are good, but I mean, you kind of know the real deal.
I can tell everything through experience, correct, and being both sides of the fence from the fighter, being undertrained as a fighter. I made my best gains training for strength. Some of my friends, I hope they're joking. Oh, you're on steroids. They see, I'm 35 years old. I can still, I feel I'm a better athlete now than I ever was.
Right.
And it's all about what I've been learning from you, Louis, all my education, internships, all of the years applying what I've been learning. And it's giving yourself what you need, following the scientific principles, building a max strength base. Oh, you're on steroids. No, I'm not. I know what the fuck I'm doing.
Right.
I'm getting stronger. They're ignorant. I've been to a conference. I remember 7 years ago in Florida, there was a goddamn presenter down there talking about plyometric training and talking about doing it for 30 reps. How the fuck is that plyometric training?
Right.
They're talking about how heavy weights make you slow. Where is this reference from that? That's bullshit. Heavy weights do not make you slow. It states, heavy weights train prolongly, right? Moving it slow, train slow, be slow. However, if you increase your rate of force development with plyometrics, which any knowledgeable coach like you or anybody else out there would do, It's impossible to get slow. But you have to build that base first, and that's what they fail to understand. A lot of skill coaches, I hear these guys, oh, I just found this new training program. Oh, I got my guy on this new training program. Well, how the fuck are you qualifying him for that? They don't even know how to qualify their athletes, right?
Right. You bring that maximal strength up, and then you can start doing the speed strength, the strength speed, all that stuff. And I mean, they're just, like you said, applying force is one thing, but applying it quickly is where the power comes from. You act powerfully when you do that.
You know what, Smitty, in the mathematics, is 1 plus 1 ever going to equal 7?
Right.
As much as you'd want to argue that.
I would want to argue that.
No, as much as anybody would want to argue
right,
that.
I know.
Maybe if we're drinking later off.
Yeah, I might say 3 or something.
So what are the prerequisites for power? Maximum strength times speed equals power, correct?
Right.
That's that formula. It doesn't lie. So why put the cart before the horse? And that's my point with saying that stuff about that guy. And they got him. He was kicked off out of after being a presenter, after saying all that garbage. You cannot try to train for speed when you're weak. You build the base with max strength. Then once you build that base, you have to nurture it, don't you?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and the thing that, I mean, you get all these fighters in here, and, I mean, they might be able to knock dudes out. I mean, they got a lot of power, but they have no structure. They have no foundation, and you can make them even more powerful and more forceful, apply so much more force over, a shorter distance.
Let me ask you something, and I'm going to cut you off. That's brilliant what you're saying. What's starting strength? What does that do?
What it does is, once the CNS engages the muscles, it's how quickly movement occurs.
So let me ask you this. How would a striking fighter benefit from that? That's everything, isn't it?
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali said, give me an inch and I can knock, that's all I need to knock you out.
Yeah.
How beneficial would starting strength be to that?
Yeah.
What is starting strength? Maximum strength, everything's born from that. And people they don't understand strength qualities, do they? No. And that's just too bad. You leave that, but you leave max strength untrained and you build a base, then you don't nurture it, then you don't. How long would you keep that without training for it, right?
Right.
Doesn't mean you're gonna have it 5 weeks later.
Well, my point before was I get these fighters and they're so powerful, but bringing up their maximal strength, just starting them with some compound movements, rebuilding them from the ground up, they become even more powerful. I mean, they're telling me, we used to hit hard, and a lot of people told us that, but now we're knocking people out in sparring. Like, they're just hitting so much harder. Did I increase the speed? No, they were getting that all from their skill work. I increased their strength, their limit strength, and started really allowing them to create strength with compound movements. It's really important, and I did it smartly. A lot of balance in the movement, balance in the volume of movement, and like I said, movements with the barbell, with sandbags, kettlebells. We talked about this previously, but a whole different variety of training tools. I mean, you don't get stuck in one pattern. Like Louis says, if you always do the same lift, same barbell, you're going to hit that accommodation. So each week, we're changing things up. We're changing the barbell. We're changing the intensity, changing the volume, all kinds of stuff, all these different variables you can change. And, they never acclimate. They're always just building strength.
Absolutely. Everything you're saying there is brilliant, and it's proven and it's true. And to the ignorant out there, you doing that to somebody, to a fighter in a weight room, their results would be scrutinized and criticized as pharmaceutical drugs, when all you're doing for them is giving them what they need, and you have the knowledge to give them what they need.
People can't believe the results because they've never seen anyone trained the right way.
No, they're ignorant, and this isn't being too brash. It's these haters should get educated, and guys like Manny Pacquiao, they criticize, and that's human nature. What people don't understand, they criticize, and if there is a pharmaceutical, if there is the drug, and in fight sports, it's improving their max strength. It's doing what you just said, and because they lack that so much, it's like giving a dead plant water. Boom, it blossoms.
Right.
Right?
It's so much skill stuff. I mean, you got to backtrack and build that base pyramid.
Well, how do you even enhance skill and improving strength? It's just
You can only go so far on natural ability.
Absolutely, and that's how you enhance it. You know, I got an older fighter in my gym. I says, your fountain of youth is getting strong, is to get you stronger. Certainly didn't correct your imbalances because, you know, the body functions best in ideal posture, so certainly want to correct his muscle imbalances and correct his posture and build strength off of that. But if you take a guy like that to combat, for him to combat with the younger fighters,
Mm-hmm.
that's what you do. And for you know, some of these fighters are starting to hit a skill plateau
Right.
just by increasing their max strength. It's just a shame that it's being, you know, the pendulum shifting away and everybody's, you know,
They want all the
overkilling
fancy stuff instead of just.
and they're listening to the wrong people, and they're watching
Right.
all these fucking reality shows, and seeing these fighters doing mad ass workouts and
Mm-hmm.
you know, looking at these magazines and off the fucking internet, but Jesus Christ, man, how you're gonna burn that candle down too low, and you're gonna be burned out. And they're not. Put it this way, they're not. Are they? They're not in these guys' bodies that have to compete that night
Mm-hmm.
after going through all that. They survived the training camp. This says John Saylor and Louie are talking about today. You can't go to the octagon or the ring, you know, leaving the fight in the gym.
Right.
The,
You're best in the gym.
Right, you're just surviving the training programs.
Right.
And this is not a matter of opinion. This is true. Anybody's been in this game a long time. Smitty here is an accomplished strength coach, highly educated. You know his websites. You read his websites, you'll see it. You know, I have the luxury of being able to be on both sides of the fence. I love learning from him and Louie and everybody else. I'm glad these guys are my friends. But I can understand it. I'm glad I have that knowledge and being able to teach the skill. But to not have the skill, the strength and conditioning knowledge to apply that, I'm so glad I'm not unenlightened
Right.
in that way. And we know how to manage it. Having it is one thing, but knowing how to manage it
It's really important.
is the most important thing.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about today, the wave loading and the wave periodization of their training, you know, bringing them up, and when they're down, they recover back to a position greater than before, and it's just that compensation. So everything, we're not saying max all the time, we're saying it has its place, it needs to be cycled in,
Yes, it
and,
does.
you know, pulling and pushing and standing up.
It needs to be nurtured, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Start slow, work on form, work on your breathing, work on the bracing, which is huge. Bracing is huge. And as fatigue sets in, we always look for quality of movement. So, you know, those are the things, just a few of the things you need to look for when you start implementing training programs, especially as the training age matures. You know, we're looking for implementing these more compound movements. You know, everything has to be from the ground up, and you learn with less weight, and then you start building more and more weight as you get stronger, and the form corrects itself. So.
Exactly. And again, these aren't just our opinions here. I mean, these are proven off of scientific principles and empirical evidence in real world gym settings. And feeling is believing. Remember that. And
Yeah.
it's the best way to live by.